Have you ever really thought about how that t-shirt or that apple actually made its way into your shopping cart? It's not as simple as you think. There's this whole hidden world of invisible forces all pulling the strings on your decisions. So today, we're going to unpack the fascinating psychology behind every single purchase you make.
So, let's just start with a super direct question. Why do you buy what you buy? I mean, your first thought is probably, well, I need it, or I like it, or maybe it was just a good price. But the real reasons? Oh, they go so much deeper than that.
You see, every single purchase isn't just a simple transaction. No, it's a statement about who you are. It's a signal you send to the world about where you fit in. And it's a piece of the story that you're telling about yourself. The real question is, who's helping you write that story?
And that question leads us right here. Let's talk about the invisible influencers that are all around us. We're going to look at the people who, often without you even knowing it, have a huge say in what ends up in your cart.
Okay, so the core idea we need to get our heads around is the reference group. This is basically any group of people you look to, whether you realize it or not, as a kind of benchmark for your own behavior. They set the standard, and you subconsciously measure yourself against it.
And these groups aren't all the same. We can kind of split them into two main types. First, you've got your primary groups. This is your inner circle, family, your closest friends. They're the ones shaping your day-to-day choices, like buying the same brand of sneakers as your friends just to feel like you're part of the team. Then you have secondary groups, like a professional club or a social organization. Their influence is a little more formal, maybe shaping the kind of books you read or the big-picture causes you decide to support.
And this whole thing creates this really fascinating push and pull effect. On one hand, you have aspirational groups. These are the people you admire, the ones you want to be like, so you might copy their style. But on the other hand, you've got dissociative groups, the ones you actively want nothing to do with. You will go out of your way to avoid buying anything that you associate with a group you don't like. It's pretty much influenced by rejection.
Now, inside all these groups, there's usually one person whose voice just seems to cut through the noise. This is who we call the opinion leader. They are the go-to person for advice in a very specific area, whether that's tech or fashion or cars. So, what gives them all this power? Well, it really boils down to a few key things. They are seen as the experts. They just know their stuff. They're usually the first ones to try new things, and this is the most important part, they are seen as trustworthy. Their recommendation feels like genuine advice from a friend, not some paid ad. Think of that one techie friend who tells everyone which phone to buy, or that YouTuber whose product reviews you just completely trust.
Okay, let's switch gears. We've talked about your personal influences. Now it's time to pull back the curtain and take a look at how the businesses you buy from are making their own purchasing decisions.
Because here's something wild to think about. Every single product you see on a shelf has already been on its own incredibly complex shopping journey. The companies that make and sell these things, they're consumers too, just on a way, way bigger scale.
And this has a name. It's called industrial buying behavior. And the most important thing to know about it is that unlike our personal shopping trips, which can be super emotional and impulsive, this process is almost entirely driven by cold, hard logic, efficiency, and pure need.
And it follows this very clear, structured path. First, a company recognizes they need something, let's say a new piece of machinery. Then they get super specific about what it has to do. They hunt for suppliers, ask them to submit bids, and then pick the best one based on stuff like price and quality. Finally, they place the order and later review how it all worked out. It's a very deliberate, step-by-step process.
So once a company has made all of its own big buying decisions, its focus shifts to you. And that's where something called Customer Relationship Management, or CRM, comes into play. This isn't just about making one sale. It's a whole strategy for building a long-term relationship with you.
And you've definitely experienced this, like all the time. They manage your data to figure out your habits. They use that data to personalize everything, from the ads you see online to the emails that land in your inbox. They try to give you great customer service. And at the end of the day, they do all of this to earn your loyalty, using things like special offers and rewards programs to keep you coming back again and again.
All right, so we've seen the personal influences around you and the business strategies targeting you. But there's one more really important layer to this whole system, the actual rules of the game that are there to protect you. This is consumer protection. And it's basically a whole framework of laws and regulations that have been put in place to make sure the marketplace is fair and safe for all of us. You can think of it as your safety net when you're out there shopping.
So what does this actually do? Well, it covers two huge areas. First, product safety, making sure the stuff you buy won't actually harm you, like having proper labels on food. And second, fair marketing practices. This means companies are not allowed to lie in their ads or make up false claims just to trick you into buying something. It's all about keeping the game honest.
So when you zoom out and look at the whole picture, you can really see it. From the tiny influence of your closest friends, all the way up to the massive strategies of global companies, and then the overarching rules set by the government, there's this vast, complex system at play every single time you decide to buy something.
It's really this intricate dance of psychology, business, and law. And it all leads to one last question for you. Now that you know the rules of the game, how are you going to choose to play it?